say pay attention.
News from across the NFL and the Minnesota Vikings in association with VikeFans.com. With your hosts.
Like I picked the wrong week to go drink.
The Lochstar, Al Hiram.
Did you eat a lot of paint chips when you were a kid? Why?
And Jason, the Beast, Barrow.
They think he's a righteous dude.
That was awesome. Boy, is this great!
And welcome to another episode of Horns Up, your rock and roll weekly NFL podcast centered on the Minnesota Vikings. And yes, we're live once again. We have had a week absence. Wow, and I just spilled everything off my desk. Go figure. Hey, fail abounds here at Horns Up. But yes, we're back live once again. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for sticking with us and tuning in once more to hear our blather, our drivel, all that other stuff. I'm your host, the Lochstar, Al Hiram, along with my co-host, Jason.
The Beast.
Barham. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing better than I was last week, I tell you what. Something, got a little bug.
Right.
Oh, shit. I was feeling like shit all last week, so I had to call her off. I actually had a guest that was going to be on the show last week, too, and either I got shafted or they were actually really sick, too. So I don't know if there's a lot of shit going around right now or what, but man, I'm doing a lot better this week.
Wait, did you say you had a guess that you either got shafted or was this a date? Did you actually try to bring a date to the show?
Oh, well, kind of, horns up. Need a little company, too,
Oh shit, that's awesome, man. So now, why were you out last week? You had something going on here. What was the deal? I know it was another BFL injury.
No, this time it was I ended up having bronchitis really bad, so I'm sure people didn't want to hear me going, all right, the Vikings, I'm dying here.
Right, yeah, so, yeah, basically they didn't want to hear the same thing I do every week before we start recording, which you've heard how many times now?
Pretty much.
Yeah, right, you have to clear your throat, I'm clearing my sinuses.
I'm freaking dying here.
One sec, that made me want to cough, actually.
I swear to God, we're not in the same room right now.
No, we're not.
It's not contagious.
You're not going to die of like the ass cancer or something yet. Yeah. And we just, for the first time, hey, look at that calendar moment. We brought ass cancer in on our first time on our podcast in week 9. So that's pretty good.
Telling you what, if you're listening to the show too, your ass is mine. Ass cancer.
That's creepy.
Well, we're a little week off here from Halloween, but
right, yeah. I know you wanted to get your scares out, but you were too busy coughing up a lung and all that stuff. I get you. I understand. I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you.
Well, let's go on the topic real quick. So I was Halloween for you.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well. Okay. Week 10 is week 9. Holy crap! I went through the time warp dance. Take a step to the left.
As long as you don't start singing the nay-nay.
You don't?
No,
wait,
nay-nay.
Are you serious? You don't know the time warp?
No.
You don't know this?
Down, dude.
Don't know.
Time
You don't know the time warp? Dude!
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
It's a dream.
Oh, yeah, now you're like, oh, yeah, now I heard it because the chorus is...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you youngins, man, and you're hipster... I know choruses, but not songs. Week 9 is in the books. And how much do we care about it outside the Vikes? Judging on my degree.
Actually, there was one game in there that is,
Well, there were some interesting upsets, but judging on my degree of sobriety overall, not a whole lot. There were some entertaining games, and even some shockers, and not the Steel Panther shockers. There's not, Yeah, we won't even go into the shocker.
Oh, actually, you know who got shocked? Packers got a shocker.
Yeah, they did. Yep. That was more of a minivan because it was the Panthers that did it. So we'll talk about that later, though. But yeah, it was a mostly non-interesting week except for those few games. There were a few upsets that really caught my attention, and other than that, not much. So yeah, let's take that high-speed trip around the NFL.
Let's do it. Yeah, I'm on the big hog.
All right. That's right. It all started Thursday night with the Bengalis. Oh, what a surprise. Not. Going over the Browns 31-10. Sunday brought us some semi-not-so-predictable wins by the Patriots over the native, non-offensive, gender-neutral, completely equal species that walks on two legs, members of a paid sports fraternity by a score of 27-10. The Bills busted down on some Fin momentum. 33-17. The wait, hold on a second. I have to work on my spelling. Jaguars lost to the other phonetically easier team, Jets, by a score of 28-23. The Uriah Heep Steelers done the rancher's daughter. How's that for an old school lyric reference? Over the Raiders 38-35. The Giants won their latest in a string of yawner games against yawner teams because the Giants are the Titans of yawns by defeating the Bucks 32-18. The Beagles beat down the Cowpokes yet again by a score of 33 to dysfunction, or 27-9 in non-psychological terms. The Bears on Monday night won a maybe not so epic game. Totally not so epic game. It was a fun game to watch, but it was not epic. By a couple of two-win teams over the Chargers by a score of 22-19. And we did have a few upsets this week.
Hey, I don't feel so bad. Atlanta, they got their butt whooped by 49ers over there, you know.
They did,
Shit.
right? I was about to say that. The Niners did escape the talons of the Falcons 17-16. The Tetons went up over the Aints 34-28. Okay, maybe that's not that big of a shocker. But we also have the Colts defeating the Broncos. The Broncos are no longer undefeated. It only cost Luck a kidney. And the Panthers beat the enemy 37-29. I still say Cam Newton should switch to Thundercats instead of the Superman thing, because the Superman thing is as old and tired and lame as the whole championship belt celebration that, Aaron Rodgers does. Really, I have a hard time differentiating because they're both so lame.
Is it Sharon or Aaron?
Sharon. Aaron! Bring me another bottle of Tramadol.
Help!
Oh, God. All right. Finally, Vikes win, and Vikes win. But we'll break that down in a moment. First, let's take a look at some of the highlights this week. The highlights in my, headlights, which are pretty dim these days, they're the upsets, because we only had 3 of them this week, and I put upsets in quotes because the Tetons taking one on the Aints, that's not much of an upset. Maybe I'm delusional, but I just don't see it that way. What do you think?
I don't know. The Saints are the Aints some weeks. I don't know. They're just typical of the last 2 to 3 years of what team shows up. Right. I did see though Mariota right away was getting lucky with some passes, or was that one play. I'm surprised it wasn't a Vikings game, because usually you see like the folly plays.
That was the highlight for you.
And you got
3
Viking players run into each other, and then you got a Packer guy catch the ball and run into the end zone. But
that was
for once it wasn't us.
That was the single craziest touchdown I've ever seen. At least live. I've seen plenty of recorded touchdowns, and of course, there's never a lack of anti-Viking highlight reels, but God, that one was ridiculous. Oh, my God.
Well, he actually backed that Luck up with some good play later on, and they managed to pull out the win.
Yeah, they did.
And I believe that was at New Orleans too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. That's why I thought it wasn't much of an upset, because both teams are not very good, and both teams played pretty bad. It's never been like, King Vikings versus the loser 90s pack, or 2000s pack versus the loser 2000s Vikings. It's not been that weird, David and Goliath thing. They were just kind of like two teams that sucked, and here's something fun that came out of it.
Well, that's going to be a shit show in New Orleans here soon.
Oh,
defensive coordinator Ryan, he's definitely fired.
Have
the
you ever-
defense sucks.
Right.
He did the same thing in Dallas where he butchered their 4-3 defense with DeMarcus Ware and company there, and he ended up coming in there,
DeMarcus
transferring
Ware,
into a
right?
yeah, DeMarcus Ware,
Who's now part of the
transferring
Broncos?
it.
Yeah.
What's that?
Who's now part of the Broncos?
Oh yeah. Well, they transferred that defense to a 3-4. Now they went back to a 4-3. Now they left. Well, he's doing the same thing over to New Orleans. Well, yeah, they ain't worth a damn. So they're gonna end up firing him. They're probably gonna go back to a 4-3. They just wasted a couple of years of transferring players over that they supposedly can't play in a 3-4 to a 4-3 or vice versa, whatever. But
Right.
that guy's gonna be shit can. A lot
Right.
of rumors about Sean Payton, and even Drew Brees maybe going to San Fran next year. You don't know what is really going on down there, but
Right.
yeah, week to week, New Orleans is not looking consistent. And
Not at all.
Honestly, I could give a care less. I hate that damn
About
team
as
anyways.
about as consistent as meringue attempts on Chopped. How's that? Oh my God!
Ooh.
2X
Oh, yeah.
references. Yeah, 2X obscure references.
Judo chop.
Second obscure reference of the week I had, not obscure reference of the week. Well, that was the second, but second highlight of the week I had, the Colts selling one of Luck's kidneys for an upset over the Broncos. Seriously, man.
Take it from me.
Hey, little known fact, I only have one kidney myself, so I would not sell it for an upset over the Broncos. Maybe a Super Bowl, but not an upset over the Broncos.
No wonder you're a lightweight and a cheap date.
Holy hell, are you kidding me, dude? Really?
Yeah.
Dude, seriously?
Yeah, man.
Dude, my liver was designed by Dean Martin, man. I drank you under the table before you were born.
It's on, buddy. It's on.
You want to do it any night of the week, man. Dude.
Black
seriously.
Friday.
Really? Black Friday? I have to work
I got
that
a
day.
job for you anyways.
I have to work on Black. Can we make it like Gray Saturday? What's the day after Black Friday? Gray Saturday? Can we make it that day? Because I have to work on
ain't
Black
working
Friday.
that Friday.
I am. I work tech
It's against
support.
the law. Everyone's got to go shopping instead of spending time with their family.
Nuh-uh, not for people who do tech support, because you have to make sure crap works. That's how it goes. So Gray Saturday, yeah, we'll just come on over, man. We'll do shot for shot. I don't care if it's even on Skype. We will sit down and just pound them back and see who starts slurring first. So you make horse noises, really? That's your answer? I said, "What the hell?"
You know what? I'm actually
can't
late
keep
right
up
now
this
because I haven't
drinking.
drank in a couple of weeks. I've been under the weather, so I've been a good boy here over, on my side of town.
Dude, it don't matter if I don't drink for 6 months. I am a genetic soak. I'm a genetic piss tank. So there ain't nothing preventing me from dominating you in a drinking contest.
All right, here's the rule. No one gets up
I met you.
to piss.
Dude, doesn't matter. I met you. You're as big as my right leg. There ain't no
First
coming
one
back.
to get up to piss loses.
You go right
can
ahead.
Piss yourself there. It's part of the rules.
Go right ahead. I've had catheters. Anyway, so the Colts sold kidney from Luck for a mid-season win over the Broncos. And is it so much that, I mean, really, how bad is it for Luck this year? Not as, how bad he's doing, but how bad is it for him that when he finally finds his ground, finds his footing, and starts putting up what everybody wants him to do, he gets owned? I mean, is this just a character building thing for him, or is it really just suck for Luck, pun totally intended? What do you think?
Well, the GM and the coach Pagano there seem like they kind of got like a little rift going on there.
What?
There seems like there's some kind of rift going on there. Even Luck's in his fourth year,
Right.
so technically they can sign him. I think they got him on the 5th-year option. It was the first year they actually had that available, I think, for that class. Anyways, they want to re-sign him this year to the big deal.
Yeah.
So my little take on this is GM, first of all, didn't really like the coach. He kind of wanted him out. So he's like, well, I kind of want like an 8-8,
Right.
10-6 kind of team here. I don't want Luck to put up all these crazy numbers so we don't have to pay him out the ass as the number one quarterback out there that's just going to punish our team and penalize it from signing other players, the salary cap goals and all like that. So I'm thinking he kind of didn't set this up right for it to be a total success.
Right.
Because he kind of wants to go a different direction after this year anyways. He kind of was forcing Pagano, I think, to kind of quit. But Pagano don't want to quit. That's his job.
Yeah, Pagano's not going to quit. And I think Luck is a great strike because Luck, okay, I agree with his detractors that he is physically not at the point where he should be. Well, actually, physically, if in terms of physically, yes, he is. But technically, in the terms of how he plays in the NFL, he's not at the point he should be. But these last two games, I've been watching him. That dude has been like, just a machine. And he's been playing through injuries, and he's been doing great stuff. You know what? And he's such a nice guy. My God, man, he really is. And it's hard to dog a guy like that, especially when he throws a nice tight spiral. He has his mechanics down. He reads the field semi-well. That's where he needs work, I guess, But it's just one of those things where it's like, if you have Luck, you sign him to the contract. Maybe not the Peyton Manning contract, but you sign him to a contract that makes it worth his while. And knowing Luck, dude, he'd probably take, 15% over food stamps just to play because he's just that nice a guy and good on him for it. If that's what he loves to do, hey, who am I to complain?
Well, I figured out it was a conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theory. This is actual conspiracy theory talk.
Wait, that was a shotgun. I'm sorry. Conspiracy theory. Did you guys just call me in here? What's going on? How you guys doing?
I'm a conspiracy theoryologist.
You're not a conspiracy theoryologist. I have a whole team that's dedicated to finding conspiracy theories. I was a governor of Minnesota for 4 years or 10 years. You know what time is a conspiracy?
Oh yeah, brother. You don't have a chance.
Don't even bring that. I gave you the Scorpion Deathlock and AWA, and you submitted.
No, you didn't, brother.
I did.
You're in the ring.
I did, man. I was working under Dr. V at the time, and you totally submitted to it. Don't even bring it.
Time.
How are you? What are you? Are you half macho, half Hulk? I don't understand, man. I was with Gene Okerlund at the time. Ric Flair, really? Are you bringing Ric Flair into this argument? Ric Flair couldn't bend a solid steel bar in half. He can't do that, but I can, and I was a governor. I will meet you in the steel cage, beast, anytime, anywhere. What was that? You just hurled up a huh.
The guy come in with the 2x4 and American flag.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan? Really? Hacksaw couldn't defeat jobbers half the time, man. That guy, he was terrible even in a ring. That was awful.
That guy was boozing it before he came out. No doubt about it.
Booze was the least of Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Let me tell you, man, I knew some guys from the WWE Golden Age. Booze was the least of his worries. Anyway.
Yep. Anyway, the conspiracy theory obviously is
the conspiracy
the GM and the coach. Obviously, a lot of people have been talking about that anyways. But it was just kind of odd when the coach was in the locker room doing his little victory speech and I love this team and all that hoorah shit that he kind of does or whatever. I'm over there. I'm watching this on TV here, and I see the GM over there out of the corner of his eye. Your ass is so fired.
All right. Okay. That's all I can say.
Just like, good job, team. God, that fucker's fired.
Okay. That's all I can say. The third highlight from Week 9 was the Panthers beating the Pack.
Yeah, that'll shut them up.
Right? Yeah. Panthers beating the Pack is always like a minor holiday here, apparently. Sorry, Packer fans. Hey, but you know what? Bad sportsmanship aside, Like like your guy throwing the ball away when he usually gives it to a kid. Yeah. No, bad sportsman. No, sportsmanship aside, all that aside, any teasing and all that aside, serious question. Does that mean the Pack has been exposed with their second loss in a row, or are the Panthers that good? That's an awfully tough question. I was thinking about that this week. I'm like, are the Panthers really that good? Because, ESPN is all up Cam Newton's butt right now. Mm-hmm. Or is the Pack just being a bit exposed here? Not because the Pack is awful, but they're lacking some key players, and teams are starting to recognize where they're lacking. Which one do you think it is?
Well, the reason why I honestly said that'll set them up was because their first loss, when they lost to the Broncos, one of the reasons they say they lost, I heard this from a guy, well, you didn't play Denver. You played Denver 4 weeks ago. That offense wasn't clicking at what they are right now. I mean, they got the playbook down a lot better now. I mean, there's no way you guys would have only lost by what you did if you played them today. Well, I'm like, Jesus Christ, really, man?
Yeah. Well, they got the playbook down. Your
defense sucks.
They got the playbook down enough to put 24 up on the Colts. I'm just thinking, the Pack has weaknesses. Every team has weaknesses, right? So and normally I think the Carolina Panthers are pretenders to the throne, even in my own bathroom. I mean, seriously, Cam Newton can come in as Superman all he wants, but I'm taking a dump first, right? So it makes me wonder, are the Panthers for real, or is it just the
balanced all around defensive line, linebacker, secondary? They got some really good key players. Each part of the levels of the defense. Now you look on the flip side.
Their offense is Cam and some other guys.
Cam's just doing good. Obviously, like the Packers' run defense, they're really, really bad. So, you got them running the ball. Jonathan Stewart somehow is staying healthy for the Carolina Panthers.
I don't know how he is, man. That guy's taking some abuse. I don't know how he's staying healthy, but he's managing to suit up, which is an achievement considering the punishment he's taken. He's on a fantasy team of mine, so I watch Jonathan Stewart. I don't watch Cam Newton because I always thought Cam Newton was overrated, but this year he's doing mysteriously well. He's maybe having his Kramer year 5 years into the league or something, or 6 years or whatever he is now.
Pretty much. I mean, he's just kind of holding his team up on the offensive side. Not really the team, but definitely on the offensive side. The defense is coming in their own. Kuechly, I was worried when he was out for 2 to 3 weeks there with a concussion. I'm a big fan of the guy. I mean,
when he came back, he's a
coming out of the draft. I didn't think we were gonna get him. We were close at that time, but I want to say we took Ponder that year. Oh shit!
God, really? We took Ponder over Kuechly? Oh, Kuechly is a stud.
Kuechly didn't even fall that far.
No, he wouldn't have, because he's the real deal. Kuechly's one of those guys you watch and you're like, wow, he's just good. He's really good. Not flash in the pan good, but just stable, solid good. That's good. Yeah.
And then they Josh Norman, shutdown corner, a former 5th-round pick, to turn into one of the best corners in the league. That's just a gem when your team hits on a player like that in the 5th round.
Hey, you know what? That might actually be similar to what we're about to hit on after this week's injury reports. Have you read them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get you. Yeah, but Zimmer coaching can turn somebody into that, which means it's time for our weekly breakdown. Yes, it is. It's time for the breakdown. Let's figure out what's going on here. Look at the Vikings game from week 9. Now, we actually have a couple of points from week 8 too, because we missed a week here. So, if you feel slighted at all, we can break it down for you. Let's see. Of course, we have to mention from week 8, the curse is broken. We finally won in Soldier Field. Since 2007, we had not won. That's an 8-year stretch. We have not won in Soldier Field. We finally won there. God damn it, that feels good.
Yep.
Of course, another winning drive led by Teddy Icewater, sealed by Blair Walsh, which, adding to the
feel
Rams.
like he's finally got over whatever bug he had in his ass over in the
Right, that's the
season there.
second game-winning field goal in a row by Blair Walsh as we conquered the Rams this last week. Now, about the Rams, if there's anything you want to bring about the Bears, okay, but we got to make it quick here. But against the Rams, our defense is doing phenomenally. We have not allowed more than 23 points in the game. We're the only team in the NFL to have allowed less than 23 points a game every game this year. It doesn't hurt that Foles, much as Nick Foles had that awesome reputation he came in on as a substitute quarterback last year, this year he couldn't hit. If you parked an aircraft carrier in his backyard, he couldn't hit it from the kitchen window. There's no way. He's been, his accuracy is so bad.
Hit and miss.
Right. Plus, we had the emergence of, who's quickly becoming a man crush of mine, Linval Joseph. Dude.
Oh, yeah.
God. That guy has been turning it up. I mean, he has been turning it up in a harsh and severe and awesomely awesome way. I mean,
That's a lot of beef.
he's a lot of beef to be sure, but he has been dominating the interior. He's been shrugging off blocks. He's sucking up double teams, and last week he had, 10 tackles?
10 or 11, had a
Right.
sack, was named the defensive player of the week.
It's absolutely ridiculous from a nose tackle position to do that in the pro football league. Yeah, high schoolers do it and college guys do it, but in the pro, in the NFL, man, that's ridiculous numbers to put up. And he did it, and he's been a force on the interior, man. I think Sharif is actually kind of looking at him going, I need to learn from this guy. And can you imagine when Sharif steps up into Linval level? Because Sharif has been great this year. Don't get me wrong. Not dissing Sharif. He's my man. He wears 73. That's what I wore, But when he steps up to that Linval level and starts taking over games, the Williams Wall cannot imagine that kind of power. And I hate.
Well, that's a good thing right now. This
It
team's
is.
hot.
It
team's
is.
winning, but it's not peaking.
We're hot and we're peaking, but we're actually, I would say we're warm. We're not hot yet. We're warm and we're winning.
Wait, we're lukewarm.
Yeah, we're the most overrated team in the NFL. Yeah, we all read those articles, right? But yeah, man, we are we're getting our fire under us at the right time, I think, and it's going to be something special when it happens. Man, between Floyd, when Floyd gets back, between him and Joseph, if Floyd picks up his game the way Joseph picked up his game, Jesus Christ, those two on the interior, man, that's like having two Warren Sapps, and then you got Everson Griffin and Brian Robinson. I mean, what do you do at that point?
Even Crichton and
Or Crichton and Hunter.
Neil Hunter,
Yeah.
he's been playing a lot more. I mean, we got Tom Johnson.
Right.
So that's 7. How many people is that? That's 7 people on the defensive line for rotation here.
We've built a deep and effective defensive line. Tom Johnson, again, Tom just interviewed him from VikeFans.com. And what a great, humble guy he is, and what a year he's having. I mean, the contract we gave him was, totally easy. I would have
Totally, man. Totally worth it, man.
Totally worth it, man. Yeah, dude, it was sweet.
Rip it and rip it, bud.
Right. Totally.
Right, man.
Right. I gave somebody a paisley rug out of the back of the VW, and he just saw anyway.
Maybe in the 7-Eleven, man.
We got 3 Slurpees from that rug, man.
Anyways, old Tommy boy, he's doing good, man.
Tommy's
What a
doing great.
Signing that
So,
was.
yeah.
What a great signing.
Right.
Linville captain.
Linval Joseph. Yeah, he's been.
the Linval.
Yeah, Linval has been a beast the last few weeks, especially last week. He came out. Last week was kind of like I don't know if 350-pound defensive linemen can have coming out parties like a debutante ball. But he certainly had his, man. And instead of wearing a dress, he just wore the opposing quarterback on his head, man. That was freaking great. Just beat his ass down. That was awesome. He beat that center down. He beat the left guard down. anybody got in his way, he ate them up. It was like watching Pac-Man go to town on a power pellet. It was awesome. Loved it.
Well, that was a good thing about the game. There was some negatives that came out of the game. Obviously, the one was the eventual hit on Teddy that took him out of the game.
The hit. Oh, yeah, you brought that up. Yeah, the hit. The hit by Joyner, I don't care. I know ESPN and NFL.com and Yahoo Sports and jerkwatersports.com and assholesports.com all brought it up and whitewashed it and said, well, it's a split-second play, blah, blah, blah. No. You watch that replay.
5 yards away when Teddy started going down.
He started going down. The dude planted, slided, and aimed low. I mean, even if, okay, let's say, let's take the sake of the argument, right? For the sake of argument, let's hypothetically say Teddy didn't even begin to slide. That dude planted and launched about a foot off the ground, so he was aiming for a knee. I mean, really, his elbow or head would have connected with the knee. He was aiming to injure somebody. Dick? That's a dick move, period. That's
Dick Joyner.
Right. Yep, that's a Dick Joyner move. There you go. And I loved how Zim got so pissed that they had to cut it out of all the mic'd up segments for him to come on the field and
see that fucker.
Yes, right. And just shout him down. And then Fisher got nothing more than a brief hand swipe at the end of the game because screw those guys. That's Bush League. That's cheap. That's awful. And I'm glad that somebody in the NFL recognizes it, even if it's the Vikings, because that was Bush League. Seriously.
What honestly I loved about the whole aftermath and everything that happened, Minnesota Vikings, Wolves, everybody, they embraced how Zimmer's reaction was and how his emotions were. They put it right on the website right away. Coming on Wednesday, even more footage from the game because he was mic'd up. I mean, they're embracing it. NFL's loving it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
seriously, yeah, you're right, man.
If this team gets to be if we could go 5-3, something like that, we're 11-5. It'd be hard pressed for Zimmer not to win Coach of the Year.
Dude, I tell you what, man, if I could bottle the rage that came from both the fans, not just in the VikeFans.com chat room, but the message board fans, the internet forum fans, the podcast fans, and all the other people who don't automatically say the Vikings suck and try to do everything they can to denigrate them like ESPN and NFL.com, if I could bottle the rage up, and especially you add in the team and Zimmer, the rage they had over that kind of shit. Oh my God. I could sell that to the military as a contract and make super soldiers for the next 100 years. We'd have a million Captain Americas out there. It'd be just crazy because that was seriously, man. We're the least penalized team in the NFL. The least penalized team in the NFL. The first time ever I think the Vikings have had that honor, right? Because Zimmer has preached clean, hard play. That's his whole credo. Play clean, play hard, never give up. That's the three pillars of Zim, you could say. And to have that happen, man, especially against a guy who is notorious to us.
God, that was another thing I was just going to bring up. After it happened, I'm like, God damn it, that was a dirty-ass hit. Mm-hmm. And then I realized, that son of a bitch bit us again. Right. God, how many times that cocksucker over there gonna keep hitting all these dirty hits on us? 2009, here we go again. Right. Yeah.
Oh, except there's only a couple of hits here. Yeah. There was only a couple of hits here.
That was it. I was like, that son of a bitch. I've had it with that damn Williams guy.
To be honest, if that low hit on Teddy had occurred just on its own, I might not be so angry myself. But if 2 plays before there wasn't the low outside hit at Teddy's knees, you know what? It's like, okay, now you're coaching for injury. You're just being a dick. That was the evidence for me. That was the context to take that hit in. And it just, I turned into a T-Rex. I was like growling at my screen and all caps in the chat room. Like, it's cruise control for cool, like, God damn it, this fucker should be banned, Yeah, we were all, everybody was like that. And and even, Zim went out on the fields cussing up a storm just like we knew he should, and how we wished every coach since, Bud Grant would come out and just back his players. And so in the end, it turned out to be a good thing, in my opinion, if Teddy's okay. If Teddy's okay, it's a good thing, because Zim came out and tore some assholes out of other people and gave them new places to poop. And I can't say I just said poop and assholes in the same sentence. I got to back off an asshole, But he came out and he tore some new assholes and gave people new places to poop, and the Shield tried to whitewash it, whatever they tried to do, as much as they tried to do. But the players reacted to that. They said, our coach has our back, we got his back. And that defense, I tell you what, they came out on fire. Oh my God, that was great to see. They came out and they destroyed that offense. The Vikes D came out and just, the Rams could do nothing after that. There was no hope for them. I mean, the defense was just
couldn't really do much either,
Right.
As much as I was kind of getting on Teddy for missing some easy throws that he had to Wallace wide open, it didn't matter. Even when he was out of the game, Sean Hill really wasn't going to hit.
Yeah, you see Sean Hill rolling out with a walker. That's not a good sign at all.
Oh, man,
but that defense came out and ate the Rams' lunch. And I'm not being facetious, and I'm not being mean to the Rams, because they're a tough team. But they came out fired up and just took over the game. And if it wasn't for that defense, what do you got, Sean Hill? And I think that's what they weren't counting on, was that if we put their quarterback out, hey, they only got Sean Hill. Oh, no. You got a defense led by a coach who believes in his team, and they believe in him. They're going to come out and make you pay for what you did. And I think
it was even a gutsy call, too, and going into overtime.
There you go.
Now we're kicking to them.
There was .3 right there. Yes, that's .3 right there. Taking the win in OT. Never happens. But Zim said, dude, you know what? We're taking the win. My D has got this. He's got his players back. That was proof positive. That was, that was like, Jerry Springer, the child is yours proof that this guy has his team's back. And he said, you can throw what you want at us. We're taking the win, and we're going to come back and kick you in the ass for it.
Well, so actually right now, it's official. We are at the halfway point of the season. There's a lot of points and directions the team's going in that I thought in the preseason that this team was actually going to do it this year. I thought last year would have been a better year, but all the drama and all the sideshow, circus acts, and all the bullshit that was going on. Finally, that's over this year. None of that's going on. The year's actually going on like how it is.
Right.
Everything's turned out to be. It's looking like this team is destined for a playoff berth, which, like fans, we are goddamn. Oh, man.
It's
been a long time coming.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, we actually, when we get to the playoffs, I don't want to. I'm knocking on wood here, I'm not trying to jinx us.
I'm with you
but
there.
I believe, a lot of people believe this team can do some damage in the playoffs. I don't think it's a Super Bowl winning team, but like I said, after the year or before this year, I wanted this team to make the playoffs. I wanted this team to win a playoff game. At the very least, I would be happy with that. That's good momentum going into next year, going into the new stadium.
Right.
Good. We're obviously still need a few players, not a whole shitload. We get a draft class. We could get some really good key free agents that are going to be lured to us that want to be coached by Zimmer. Going into a new stadium. 2016 is also looking like a great year for the Vikings and Vike fans out there. So just enjoy 2015.
Amen.
2016. Looks like another good year coming up.
Amen. And with that, it's time to roll the bones.
Roll them out, boys.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Week 10. Wow. That was a harsh vape. Week 10 brings us episode 2 of our clone team miniseries, seriously, because the Rams were considered like, almost exactly like the Vikings. Powerful defense, big time running back, passing game suspect, right? But we won, right? Next comes our next challenge, which is almost the same. Got a pretty decent running back, right? A pretty decent defense, but you got 1-star receiver and Derek Carr, who has so far been on a mission, it seems, to destroy Mr. Bridgewater's reputation as the quarterback du jour from his draft. So, we are facing the Raiders.
The Raiders.
The Raiders.
Touchdown.
The Raiders.
Raiders.
Yeah. Raiders, George. Tell me about the rabbits,
We're
George.
coming in.
Tell me about the rabbits, George. We're going to raid the rabbits. The
I want
Raiders.
to tend the rabbits.
Oh, let me get that mouse out your pocket.
I didn't mean to kill her. I just
I
was trying to hug her.
I just pet too hard, George.
God.
Such a great.
Tell me more about them rabbits. Well, you just shut the hell up about the goddamn rabbits. Talk about the goddamn Raiders.
Right. Here's my take, which has already half been said. The Raiders are coming in with their combo of Carr, Murray, and Cooper, who put up way more offense than we have. However, the Vikings on their offense make very few mistakes. Conversely, the Vikings' defense is very, very tough. We have the league's #1 rusher, and while we're 30th we're only 30th in total offense. I mean, we're at the bottom. In our total offense, we suck. But clearly, we're winning games based on that hard-ass defense. The Raiders are winning their games based on scoring. So it's obvious from what I see that it's going to start. The Raiders are going to stack the box, and we need to figure out how to open up the passing game. Last week, in my opinion, was a start. Watching Norv's, especially his early game passing offense, watching it happen was a good thing. We no longer saw the first down run, AD out of the shotgun. We didn't see that at all. We saw great play actions. We saw great running plays. He averaged, I think, AD averaged, 6 yards per carry? But I think Teddy has to get over that Wallace allergy, or wall allergy, I guess you could call it. I don't know. Because Diggs can't be the only threat. We have to throw to somebody else. Rudolph.
He had some passes to Wallace that were right there. It's just, I think Teddy's looking at the tape going, you'd always watching the tape going, what the hell?
Right.
And that's a pass
It hits you
I
in the
can make, you
hands.
can make, That's a
Right.
10, 15-yard pass right there. You can do it in your backyard. No reason
Right.
why you can't be hitting them passes right there. Then we're keeping the drive going. Then were passes that he wasn't making after the first two drives that, like you said, going right down the field, play action, everything was clicking good. I mean, we had a chance to really put away St. Louis early in that game. They would have been one-dimensional in a dimension that they're not good at.
Right,
So-
exactly. Yeah. But Wallace had 4 drops on the day? Something like that. It was crazy how many drops. And then, of course, we had the obligatory Rudy and CJ sighting that has seemed to become de rigueur here. They appear once a day to make a great play.
Oh, there he is.
Yep. Hey, look, CJ's still here. Oh, hey, look, there's Kyle Rudolph. All right, and then,
Where'd he go?
Yeah. It's like ninjas come in, do the swipe, and disappear. So
The
we
Ninja
need,
Vikings.
we need more. We need more from our offense. We need more than a ninja offense. Yes. We need somebody to come out and, aside
Samurai
from Diggs.
shit.
Right. We need somebody to come out aside from Diggs and make plays, and Wallace has not been doing it. So what's our solution?
I tell you what, run the ball, play action. I mean, another thing I was saying, we didn't peak yet. We're not peaking yet.
We're not.
I mean, once we can get this offense, if we can get this offense or whatever, this team to score 28 to 31 points a game, we're in every game, no doubt about it. I mean, we have a chance to win every game with the defense that we got going on with Zimmer and company. I mean, that's the key. All we got to do is keep these drives going along. obviously all the Viking fans would like to see the big play to Wallace down the field.
Right.
It's got to be coming, man. It's got to be freaking coming.
I tell
this
you what,
week, though, we're playing against Oakland. Oakland's secondary, they're giving up quite a bit of passing yards. Actually, they're ranked 29th in the leagues right there. It was a game going into this that I was thinking, well, maybe they want to kind of run the ball a little bit more for Teddy because he's just coming back from the head injury. You don't want him sitting back in the pocket taking the potential hits coming. Right. But actually, Oakland's pretty good against the run. I think they're top 10, 7th, 8th, something like that.
They're 8th against run, if I'm not mistaken.
What is it?
8th, I think, if I'm not mistaken, from what I read.
8th.
Yeah.
So, it's a game that Teddy's going to have to step up, and it's going to have to be a balanced offense.
Mm-hmm. But I think the Raiders, they depend on their score because their last game that they lost what, 32-38, something like that.
Oh yeah, the Steelers, yeah.
Yeah. It was a high scoring game. They're trading blows because Murray's a big break runner and Cooper is a big break receiver and Carr can throw the ball a country mile. But as anybody who's watched a lot of Super Bowls could tell you, your defense wins Super Bowls. Dude, a good enough defense will get Trent Dilfer or Mike Olson from VikeFans.com. They're the same guy, really. You never see
Brad Johnson.
Dude, no, seriously, you never see Trent Dilfer and Mike Olson in the same room. There's a reason. I'm convinced. Anyway, but yeah, a good defense will get even a quarterback like Trent Dilfer a Super Bowl ring. You just got to have a tough defense, and you got to have a quarterback who can make the plays he needs to make. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be the greatest show on turf, as Zim even referenced in his last press conference. You just have to make ways to win. And so I've stopped looking for the Mike Wallace breakaway thing. All I'm looking for Wallace to do is be a credible threat. I don't want him to be another Troy Williamson. Troy Williamson had breakaway speed, but he had alligator arms covered in butter. They couldn't catch you, dude. You could throw him an underhand pass from 5 yards. That dude would fumble it off his chest. I don't know how it was.
Already got Troy Williamson on the bench with Flash out there. Yeah, man. You see me? I'm looking good on the bench, man.
Flashy has more talent in his left leg than Troy Williamson had in his whole body. Troy Williamson's a remarkable story, great guy, but man, you know what? He had. When you watch those highlights of balls hitting him in the helmet and bouncing off, and you're just like, oh god. And
I was waiting for one of them to get pinned right in his face mask.
Right, if he threw it hard enough to lodge it in the face mask, he'd make the catch, you know. But Wallace, he's had a couple of those now, and it scares me because we've been through this, and it's like, dude, just catch the goddamn ball. I don't care if it has Teddy cooties on it. Catch it. You have gloves on. If you don't have gloves on, there's Bactine on the sideline. Wipe yourself down. Whatever it needs, get rid of that allergy and catch the damn ball because he's been hit in the hands more times. Oh, my God. And it's killed more drives to throw to Wallace. And then the defense is focusing on Diggs because he's making catches in double coverage. So that means Wallace is single covered and he's open, but Teddy's lost trust in him. And that's a big thing. That's the chemistry thing where you have to repair that trust. If Teddy can't go to Diggs and the linebackers are doubling up on Rudy coming over the center, you can't throw it to Wallace because even if he's open, he's going to drop. You can't, you got to recover that trust, man. You got to get there. You got to pull the captain out of your repertoire and say, I'm going to learn the offense the way he learned the defense and just step up and be a man.
Yeah, they're going to have to figure something out here. Hopefully this week they start finally putting a puzzle together a little bit better than they have because next week it's hard not to look towards next week with the big matchup here at TCF against the Packers. But
don't look. I know it's tempting, but don't because our team can't, right?
Yep.
And if any one of them,
I'm not playing in this game, so I can think like that, right?
You can, yes, but don't say it because they might be listening. Right? What are you going to do if somebody on Friday night says, "Hey, what's this Horns Up Vikings podcast?" and says, "Oh, Yeah, I should think about Green Bay. No. We can't curse our team that way.
No, I don't listen to that show. They're a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, I get you. But no, seriously, the Vikes don't look past this week. There's no point in speculating past this week because we don't know what the Pack's going to do. If the Pack drops 3 in a row, youch, right? If the Vikes win 3 in a row while they do, you double youch for them anyway, So there's no point in speculating past this week because the league is so weirdly paritative this year. There's no way that you can tell what team's going to come out on top of any particular game half the time. God, we've seen so many weird upsets this year already. It's impossible to predict an upset. But that being said, since this win would give the Vikings their 5th consecutive win, which is the longest streak they've had since the 2009 year, it also improved their record to 3-2 on the road. And the last time they finished the season with a winning record on the road was 1998. Believe it or not, the 98 year, the infamous 98 year, was the last time we finished with a winning record on the road. And it'd also be the first time since 2009, the other infamous year, that we've won 3 consecutive games on the road. Because there's a lot at stake here, a lot of team pride, a lot of team spirit, and we have a team that is vulnerable against the pass. Even though they're tough against the run, AD's used to running against teams that are tough against the run. Because they're vulnerable against the pass, I think we're going to pull this one out, and I think we're going to top 30. I think this is the week we top 30 by a score of 31-24.
Man, I got you right around the same score, man. You looking at my goddamn notes, man?
No, sir. No, sir, I am not.
Better not be, man.
I hope
I'm
not,
gonna send some ass cancer your way. All right, so I'm going to say 28-24. Oakland's going to have to go down the field and get a touchdown to win the game. Comes down again. The Zippers defense shuts them down, beats the hell out of Carr this week. Let's see here. I'm going to make a bold statement here. And
so basically you're saying 28, you're meaning 4 touchdowns.
Yep, 2-2.
Okay, all right.
2 to AD, 2 from Teddy.
No, you said 20. You said 28-24. Okay, I get you now. Okay, so 3 touchdowns and a field goal for the Raiders, 4 touchdowns for us. Okay,
Yep.
Gotcha.
And let's see here. Is Rhodes gonna get an interception this year? I mean,
Rhodes is not an interception guy. That's the funny thing about Rhodes.
he was so close last week though, and then Kenny Britt sweated that ball right out. He had it right there. So he's getting closer. I'm gonna make a prediction.
Do you think this is the week?
This is the week, and he's gonna be covering Crabtree when he does it.
Wow. Alarming predictions. 2 in a row. He's covering
2 in a row. Can we go for 3?
Right. We've got Rhodes not covering Cooper, but covering Crabtree, and then getting his first pick. Wow, that's actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, if you take a step back, that would actually make sense because they would think they have a mismatch, and then I can see that. Rhodes is just he's so good. He's like the Audrey McMillan. Audrey McMillan never was a pick monster, but goddamn, he could cover somebody. So, what do you do?
And I'm going to make another prediction.
Oh, are you now?
I'm just on fire here.
On fire.
On fire.
What you predicting?
All right. Eric Kendricks picks up his first interception of the season. He won't play this game. It looks like, I don't know what it don't look like because I'm not there.
Right.
But sounds like Barr has a 50-50 chance of playing. He's been walking around in a soft cast. But I feel that this week is the week that Kendricks come back. The reason why they didn't want to play Kendricks last week, he was obviously had some sore ribs. I don't know if they are broken or what. They might be. He might have a cracked rib or whatever like that. But if you're going up against a guy like Todd Gurley, a beast of a man,
right?
You get hit wrong one way, I mean, he's going to punish you out. So I think they just said, screw it. keep him out. Well, look what happened. They lost Audi Cole for the season, so now Kendrick's even more valuable. Another thing is Jordan Hicks, another defensive guy for Philadelphia, was leading the league for the rookies. Or, he was on his way of winning Rookie of the Year. Well, now, and old focus is back. Kendricks has a shot. If he can go on a good 8-game streak here, he could maybe pull off Defensive Rookie of the Year. But he's going to have to start this week. He's going to have to start racking up some interceptions. And this is the week he does it.
So you got Kendricks for an interception and Rhodes for an interception. And yet you have the Vikings 28-24, which means they still have to score 3 touchdowns.
You know why it's 28-24? It's because they got short field and they capitalize.
Okay. Okay. I was just trying to figure out how you had the Raiders scoring
Conspiracy theory 10.
You're right. How the Raiders scored 21 when you have 2 picks. Okay. It's all good. All good, man. All good. We'll take it for your word. So you got 28-24. I got 31-24. Or I'm sorry, did I say 31-24 or 31-24? Yep. So there you go. At least we both agree on the Raiders score. So there you have it.
Oh, man, that codeine cough syrup is really kicking in.
It really is. So we should probably terminate this episode of Horns Up. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We love you all.
Yeah.
We'll see you all same time next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. We'll be right back. As long as you don't relapse. Are you going to relapse, sir?
Bobby! Susie, get out of the chopper!
I love you, Blue. I love you, Blue. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
All right, we're done.